all my gamer frangulums, I have to take an L today because just yesterday when I reported on the fact that Fallout Season 2 is coming out this December, they actually dropped a teaser that I completely slept on. It was dropped at an Amazon Prime upfront event. For whatever reason, I couldn't find it on actual Prime YouTube channel. I don't know why. I went on the Prime YouTube channel first. The teaser wasn't there, but other channels had it. So I was confused as to why other channels, but not Prime's. I already gave it one little watch. It's Walton Goggins as his previous human character, Cooper Howard, the struggling actor. I would assume that this takes place after the part in last season where he found out that his wife is basically suggesting that Vault-Tec drop the bombs and start nuclear war so they could actually have the vaults available. But again, timeline-wise, it's hard to figure that out because season 1 began with the bombs dropping. During the show, they had constant flashbacks of him as the actor and struggling and kind of getting tired of having to take the jobs. It almost came to the point where he was barely working and his wife was the breadwinner. But here he is, and he's doing some Vault-Tec commercials that he doesn't seem to be very happy about doing whatsoever. And it is quite comical just to see him going through different Vault-Tec. He drinks some Nuka-Cola and doesn't seem to be very fond of it. But let's go through it again just to look at some of the highlights. And there really isn't a whole lot to glean from this teaser trailer, but let's go through it.
Love your company. You said you'd get me out of this.
I tried, but Vault-Tec basically owns the world, and the underworld for that matter.
And do what? Add police people.
It's over here, Chip.
Yeah.
Oh, Cooper, we have a request for a Nuka-Cola partnership promo.
Whether you're kicking back in a luxury vault.
Well, not a whole lot going on here other than the fact that Cooper is clearly frustrated, but he's also, smiling and doing his actor thing. He shakes some random guy's hand and just says, "Love your company," even though he has no idea what company he's even saying he loves. I guess it's Vault-Tec. Every ad that he does here is for Vault-Tec, but he doesn't seem all that happy about it. He's trying to get out of it, but then another person comes up and says, "Hey, can you do another commercial?" And then now here we go again.
Altar, sitting poolside on a hot summer's day. Zap that thirst with Nuka-Cola.
A somewhat funny moment of Cooper drinking a Nuka-Cola and doesn't seem to like it very much. So I'm not sure if that's suggesting that Nuka-Cola actually isn't very good. I don't know. I figured it was just cola, but their version of Coca-Cola. So a funny moment
There
for
are other things that I want to do with my career,
I know.
Look, I'm an artist. I'm not some corporate pitch man.
I know. Need a new take on this atomic sunscreen, Coop.
Sunscreen. They sell underground living facilities.
It's advertising, Coop. Try not to think too hard.
Just because you're 100 feet underground doesn't mean you've escaped the sun's harmful UV rays. Give your skin a warm grin with atomic sunscreen. This doesn't work, right? I mean, it's just lotion.
Are we done yet?
I have a feeling that none of this is going to actually be in the show, and it was just made for the teaser. We've already seen season 1, and you know that Cooper Howard is a frustrated actor, basically just doing pitches for Vault-Tec and other companies. He even says that I'm an artist, not a pitch man, but that's basically what you've become, and that's really all there is to his career right now. That's just how it is. It sucks, but that's just how it is. But at the same time, why would you watch season 2 if you didn't watch season 1? And season 1, it was already pretty clear that that's already how he feels. So all this here is not treading any new ground, and it feels like they're just doing it for the teaser and the teaser alone.
Christmas is a time for family. It's also a time to party your asses off at the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino. We have high-stakes poker for mom and dad and high-security hotel rooms to lock up your kids while you paint the town red.
But that there ends the teaser part, which I feel like then none of that's going to actually be in the show. And then it gets to the one little part that is from the show, but we don't really see much from it at all. And this It's this next little part right here. And the big reveal at the end of it coming out December, though it does just say December. It doesn't say December 2025 or 2026, but I'm assuming it means this December, because if it wasn't, they would give the year. It's still kind of weird that they don't say 2025, leaving it almost ambiguous to be like, okay, they mean this year, right? But obviously, if it was 2026 or 2027, they would say that. Going back through this one tiny part of the trailer that is actually story, I don't know for sure, but I don't think those parts early are going to be in the show. Maybe a mini intro at the beginning just to remind people of who Cooper Howard is. What do we actually get to see here? Not a whole lot. The Ghoul and Lucy's character, I guess 50 miles outside of Las Vegas. I mean, I don't know if that means they're actually 50 miles outside of Las Vegas, because that's what the sign that they're saying is, but it's a very simple shot of just them, and we see the Ghoul, and he's standing, and he's looking, and he looks right next to Lucy. I'm curious to see where in the show this is. Could be the very first episode. How far has Lucy and the Ghoul walked up to this point? They're in California. They just finished leaving the observatory area, I believe. That's where the NCR was holed up. They're walking from there to Las Vegas. I don't know how long that takes. The Ghoul and Lucy looks exactly the same. There's nothing that I can see on them that's newer than what they had before, though Lucy does have some type of, on the back of the Ghoul you can definitely see his shotgun, but Lucy has something sticking up, and it's hard to tell what it is. It doesn't even look like a weapon. It almost looks like a prod of some sort. I gotta go back to season 1 and remember what kind of weapons she ended with, or could it be like in the games where you pick up stuff along the way, which is a big part of the games, of picking up ammo and weapons and equipment all the time. So is this something that you picked up along the way? I don't know what it is. Am I looking too much into whatever this metal stick thingy is sticking up out of her back? But it is also interesting to note that she's still wearing the Vault-Tec suit. I mean, I feel like she doesn't really need to at this point, but she still is. And he just gives her a look and walks on. It's kind of like a, well, are you coming or not look. Like, I'm coming here anyways, so if you want to come with me, then let's go. So watching their relationship change could be quite interesting. Just like in season 1, Lucy was kind of becoming like him, and she was curious as to why he was the way he is, or why everybody in the world is just so evil, basically, in a way, because she's never experienced it before. Then we get another shot of that prod sticking up out of her backpack. I was kind of surprised that she didn't say okie dokie, it's just become her catchphrase, okie dokie, before we walk off onto whatever, but maybe they just wanted to not have them say any words at all, and had just the looks on their faces tell us everything. Yes, and we can see in the wider shot that Dog Meat is still there, and they're heading off to New Vegas, and of course the giant spire that you see when you're playing the games. You can see that from all distances. If you're anywhere near New Vegas, you can always just see it. But I mean, a pretty standard shot. It's even got but it even kind of has the yellow coloring of New Vegas. I'm not saying they intentionally did that. When you've played Fallout 3 and then you played New Vegas, 3 has this greenish tint to it in a way. And now it's hard to kind of explain, but when you play the games, you know what I mean. But New Vegas doesn't look like much is going on. Can't really see much activity there. I mean, it is the middle of the day. Place like that lights up at nighttime. But plus the sign says they're 50 miles. I'm not saying that sign is exactly where they're standing, because that's definitely not 50 miles from wherever they are. They're like 10 minutes away. But can they get across? There's a giant crevice there, and there's bridges, but the bridges and highways are all broken up. But I guess they'll get across somehow. I'm just still pretty amazed that they're going to be able to come out with the next season already. Like, that's a 1.5 year turnaround. and they just finished filming. So they have from May up until December. So that's basically 6 months of post-production. I guess that's 6 months is pretty standard, but this is the first show though. This is for a however many 8 to 10 episode season. So that's a lot of post-production as opposed to like a movie.
This doesn't work, right? I mean, it's just lotion.
Here you have it, my friends. A super quick look at the latest secret brand new teaser trailer that came out, though I would call it only the very last 10-15 seconds a teaser. The first bit of it is just kind of a funny little part with Cooper Howard that I'm pretty sure is not going to be in the show. I'm excited that it's going to be coming out this year. That's a very big surprise for me. I was not expecting that. I kind of figured it would come out early next year for a basic, simple turnaround. 2-year turnaround. Love it. Can't wait. Another good year. The Last of Us is already close to wrapping up, but only 2 episodes left already. And now this coming in December. So this is a pretty good year for adaptations. And then with Minecraft being a huge hit, I'm glad that it did well in the theaters. I can't wait to watch this. The Fallout Season 1 is officially my favorite adaptation so far, and it's of a game that I really love. So that's awesome. So I can't wait for December, and soon we'll see another trailer, another full-on fledged trailer, which I can't wait to watch that. Until then, all my gamer friends, don't forget to like and subscribe, and to always keep gaming.